And at the end of the term, they have to put something on the stage. So it helps them to get over that stage fear and so on and so forth.
Very nice, very nice.
The students also enjoy it.
Yeah. And that is in first year, or they can take any time?
First year, we do that.
Very good, yeah, very good.
Very good idea.
So I see two ex-IIT Delhiites here also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, shall we start? It is
we can start.
Sure, sir.
We can start the presentation, share the presentation.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to 12th edition of SAMVAAD. And SAMVAAD also turns 1 year today. Exactly at May 26th in 2021, we had the first inaugural talk by Professor V.K. Atre. Today, we are turning 1. So it has been a nice journey. So very warm welcome to SAMVAAD. Today, we have another distinguished INAE fellow, Professor Ashok Misra. Professor Ashok Misra is a distinguished professor at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Previously, he was the director of IIT Bombay. Professor Misra obtained his BTech from IIT Kanpur in 1968, an MS from Tufts University in 1969, and a PhD from University of Massachusetts in 1974. Professor Misra subsequently served as a senior research scientist in Monsanto Chemical Company till 1977. From 1977 to year 2000, he served as a faculty at IIT Delhi. Here, he was the head of the Center for Polymer Science and Engineering and a Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Programs. From the year 2000 to 2008, Professor Misra was the director of IIT Bombay. During his tenure, IIT Bombay was made into a leading R&D institute while maintaining its leadership in quality engineering education in India. Subsequently, he was the chairman of Intellectual Ventures from the year 2008 to 2016. His research interests include engineering polymers, fiber-reinforced thermoplastic composites, liquid crystal polymers and their blends, structure and property correlations, polymer rheology and processing, incremental drawing of synthetic fibers, and polymer product design. Professor Misra is professionally affiliated to a number of reputed organizations in the field of this science. He has held several responsibilities with MHRD, the Government of India, including Chairman of the Standing Committee of the IIT Council from the year 2015 to 2017, Chairman, Board of Governors, IIT Roorkee from the year 2014 to 2017, Chairman, Joint Entrance Examination Apex Board from the year 2012 to 2018. He was also a member of Board of Governors of IIT Delhi from 2012 to 2016. Professor Misra has been bestowed with several awards, including, among others, Distinguished Service Award from IIT Delhi, Distinguished Alumnus Award from all his alma maters, Distinguished Service Award from Polymer Processing Society, Lifetime Achievement Award for Research and Education from Indian Chemical Council, Bhatnagar Memorial Award at 94th Indian Science Congress, Acharya Prafulla Chandra Ray Memorial Award of the Indian Chemical Society. Professor Misra is a fellow of National Academy of Sciences India and was its president from the year 2006 to 2008. He is also a fellow of Indian National Academy of Engineering. He is the founder president of the Polymer Processing Academy, former president of the Society of Polymer Science India, and the founder president of IIT Alumni Center, Bangalore. Please join me in welcoming Professor Ashok Misra to SAMVAAD. Sir, it's our pleasure to have you on SAMVAAD and thanks for accepting our invitation. Before I hand over, I have a request to the audience to post their questions in the Q&A box on the lower right side of the screen. Sir, thank you, welcome, and over to you, sir.
Thank you so much for that very kind introduction, Tejas, and thank you, Cheshu, for extending the invitation to deliver a SAMVAAD lecture. Very, very distinguished people have given this lecture. I hope I meet your expectations. IIT Dharwad is going on well, as I've been talking with you. I have visited once, and I look forward to another visit in person, and then maybe I can talk to the faculty at large and so on. All right, without further let me share my presentation, and then you can have question answers and so on. I have made it a very general presentation, and I'd like to leave some time at the end for question, answers, and discussion, because it's an important topic for IITs and technical institutions in India to deal with. So as I gave the title, Research, Innovation, Entrepreneurship at IITs for Atmanirbhar Bharat, basically self-reliance and in the country through research, innovation, and the startups and the like. I would like to begin with the importance of higher education in the growth story of India, because you can't just jump into entrepreneurship. So I start with this. So higher education is the backbone of a country's future. All countries that have advanced technologies and economies have robust higher education systems. And we know the examples like USA, England, Germany, France, Japan, and many others. Singapore put emphasis on higher education about 2 decades back. And even with a small number of universities, all of them rank fairly high. More recently, China invested huge amounts in building its university infrastructure, and we all see the results, what's happening there. The country that has superior higher education system has an edge in today's world, and it is the one which will advance a little bit faster. So we have to put emphasis on that. It will attract best global talent, students and faculty. And we have seen this happening in the UK as an example in the early days, like 40, 50 years ago, and then more recently in USA for the last 4 to 5 decades. Institutions of higher education are really temples of learning where knowledge is transmitted and new knowledge is created, which we call research. We have to give greater emphasis on creativity and innovation at the higher education level, especially in technical education. Strength in sciences and social sciences alongside is a must. And these are the ones which synergize with the technology, leading to technological and economic growth. It leads to new enterprises, employment, social change, and many others. We in India have a huge young talent, but overall not a robust higher education system. I'm saying overall, and I'll give you some numbers. IITs are the best equipped to provide excellent research and innovation-led enterprises for the growth story of India. So what do the higher education institutions with research focus provide? They provide, of course, should provide excellent education to develop high-quality manpower, basic research and development, to develop new knowledge and researchers, applied research and development to develop advanced technologies for the nation, and create an ambiance where creativity, inventions, and innovations flourish. Technology incubation opportunities, and this leads to entrepreneurship, leading to job creation and contribute to the GDP of the country. Many decades ago, when Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our Prime Minister, first Prime Minister of India, said that he had a vision to make India self-sufficient in her technological needs. So it's a Atmanirbhar Bharat things came. Of course, systems were not in place. He wanted to produce manpower to carry out research, development, design, and industrial and technological growth, inculcate a scientific temper in the country to attract the best talent for science and technology. He wanted to create institutions that would provide the required ecosystem for education and research, and IITs are an excellent example and beneficiary of that. So let us look at some statistics about Indian higher education. Today, we have a total number of universities in India is over 1,000. Number of colleges, 5,000. The numbers may be going up and down a little bit, but you get an idea of the large number. India has approximately 30 million students in higher education today. And this is greater than the population of several countries. And if you say the top 10%, we always write in a recommendation that so-and-so in the top 10% of these would be world-class. Hence, talent should be in abundance. And this number is huge, 30 lakhs. And of course, it keeps rolling year after year. With such a large number, India should be the hub of research and development in the world. It's a great, great opportunity which we have to take advantage of. Among the 1,076, or should have been Indian institutions, several need to take the lead in this direction, and sooner the better. Also, just to mention, the current budget, as I saw, of higher education is about 39,000 crores, equal to 5.5 billion. The yearly budget of one university, Stanford alone, is about 6 billion. Of course, there's parity and all that, but still, it's a huge gap. So do we say that Indian universities are grossly underfunded? All right, so now let's move to research, importance of research. Teaching and research are the twin pillars of the success of institutions providing higher technical education. Now switching to technical education. Teaching is undergoing a change in the current information age, where students are really becoming partners with the teachers rather than just the taught and the student. And this should be taken advantage of. We should get emphasis on research, especially which is for the benefit of society and economic growth of India. We have to focus on fundamental research, applied research, and directed research in certain areas like water and energy and so on, to be given importance. The faculty must inculcate the culture of creativity and innovation amongst the students more than ever before. Why is it important to develop research culture at higher education institutions? They should be the fountainhead of creativity where new ideas flourish and from where inventors and inventions and innovators emerge. We need to attract high quality faculty who come to these institutions after their PhDs or postdoc experience and provide them a research platform. And we should attract the brighter students whose creative talents are honed. What is beyond? Research and innovations leading to startups and new enterprises. This is what is beyond if you have good research culture and stress on innovations. And this would be for the economic growth of India. And this would fulfill the nation's goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I just took a few pointers of what is Atmanirbhar Bharat. It's a campaign. Campaign is a vision of new India envisaged by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and the government. In 2020, he announced a special economic and comprehensive package of 20 lakh crores, it's equivalent to about 10% of India's budget or GDP. The aim is to make India and its citizens independent and self-reliant in all senses. Well, all may not be possible, but as many as possible. The 5 pillars identified in the Atmanirbhar Bharat mission are economy, infrastructure, 21st century technology-driven arrangements and systems. And I'm just copying it from the website, so that I'm not very happy with the language, and demand and vibrant demography. Atmanirbhar Bharat should be viewed as a collective resolve of 1.3 billion Indians to make India self-reliant in strategic sectors and self-reliant in critical technologies. It's a national agenda to strengthen India's capabilities in strategic sectors with the help of private sector companies. For the first time, Indian private sector is taking center stage in strategic sectors like defense, aerospace, space, atomic energy, railways, amongst others. Alongside, we should continue to focus on achieving global scale in other areas where we have a global presence, such as in auto components, pharmaceuticals, textiles, apparel, electronics, and many others. So let's talk a little bit about globalization. The advances in technology has led to globalization and increased power of knowledge. The current era of knowledge economy is by nature global. Advances in productivity are increasingly based on knowledge, which once disclosed spreads faster than capital or people. All countries stand to benefit when new knowledge that is internationally shared. Inventions and innovations occupy a very significant place in the knowledge economy. Alongside, we should be aware of the sustainability issues. What is the role of the industry? It should encourage the growth of higher education institutions in India, a must for our growth. I don't think enough is happening in this direction. Industries are getting global, and hence they should share their experience with educational institutions. Many times I find talking to some industries, and they say they are getting their research done or their knowledge from a foreign university rather than an Indian university because they haven't looked inwards. One example was Bharat Forge was looking to set up a joint alliance with a German university, but we stepped in at IIT Bombay and we started a master's program for them. And they're very happy with what happened later. They produced large number of innovators for their innovation center. Industry should fund fundamental as well as applied research. Atmanirbhar slogan to provide the synergy between education and industry. Industry should become active partners with higher education institutions and economic growth. Back to higher technical education, it's a backbone for providing quality manpower for industry and for technological growth. Sound base in sciences is a must these days, and currently it includes biological sciences. Excellent teachers are essential. We have to develop outstanding faculty everywhere. 1,076, even if we do it in 100, 150, 200, it'd be all right. We have to develop some cross-disciplinary areas within science and technology. Promote interactions with other fields such as economics, business administration, finance, law, and entrepreneurship. Some of this is beginning to happen. Synergistic interaction in the industry for mutual benefit. So develop a research strategy for the research focus with high priority. We should establish top-class research facilities so that our researchers, faculty, and students can carry out outstanding work. Applied research for industrial development with enhanced interaction with the industry. We should create intellectual property through development of new ideas and inventions and innovations. Research and innovations leading to enterprises and entrepreneurship as well as technology incubations. Higher education institutions with a strong research focus will have a greater impact in the future. So, importance of research. Science is the base for development of all technologies and economic growth. Almost any technology that you deal with, let's say, for example, the silicon chip. First, the silicon was invented as a science project, and then, of course, you can write on it and then make microelectronics, now nanoelectronics, and so on. Good technology follows good science. We have to enhance the level of education and research in science and technology at higher technical institutions, focused on technological growth. Systems should provide ample opportunities for creativity and generation of new ideas at all levels. And just another statistic, we produce about 50 lakh students at the 12th class level in science, greater than the population of several nations, still large number. Yet in India, there is a large shortage of good science and technology researchers in several research centers. There's something which is not right here. So this is just to show how fundamental science is the basis, goes to applied sciences, then engineering and technology, then of course business, market, wealth, and then contribute to the GDP. So this is a pyramid which can be made stronger. So in basic research makes the country grow a little faster. So creativity in innovation It is important to transform India into an innovation-driven economy with the help of higher education institutions. We need to create national manufacturing and design capabilities in critical technologies and sectors. Atmanirbhar in defense leads to technology self-sufficiency in frontier areas. We have to create a robust ecosystem leveraging the industry, academia, and the government. Fertile areas of innovations lie across domains and at boundaries between domains. It'd be also nice to make clusters of science and technologies in selected cities, and perhaps wherever IITs are, they can take the lead in their cities. So for innovation, we have to create an ecosystem, create interdisciplinary teams of passionate innovators. Not always interdisciplinary, but it helps if you combine, let's say, economics, business, management, and science and engineering on the other side. Innovation teams should bid for projects outlining the benefits at these institutions. We should have a notional measure and monetize benefits of the innovative solutions. This could be, of course, notional for the team. Mentors to assess the individuals or teams. Peer review is important at the proof of concept stage. We should also guard against overcautious teams playing safe. A small percentage of failures is a measure of risk taken. Once a critical mass of self-motivated innovators is reached at an institution, the activity becomes self-sustaining and grows very quickly. We have to generation of new knowledge requires people. It's the people who actually create new knowledge, new products, new enterprises. So outstanding researchers will produce more inventions and innovations. Productivity is based on inventions and innovations. Research and creativity is the heart of the new economy. Investment in people is essential, as this is very crucial for the knowledge economy. For high-end research, I've said that earlier, but as well as will help develop applications. Support projects that stimulate development of inventions and innovations, not just pure research, which is, of course, going to happen anyways. Provide exposure to business for the faculty, researchers, and students. Encourage entrepreneurship. All these offer opportunities for innovations and entrepreneurs to flourish. So converting academic research into technology. There is a difference in expectation from the potential licensing firms and the institute. The institute basically works on product process development, whereas the industry expects ready-made technology for immediate use in the market. So this gap has to be shortened and covered as we move along. Academic research can demonstrate technology at prototype and lab stage, many times not beyond, but the industry has to put in the money to take it beyond. Then, of course, we talk of academic freedom and publications. Academics need for prompt research publications is important. Licensee preference will be towards secrecy of invention and may cause publication delay, and that's all right, we can handle with this. Another important aspect is development of intellectual property creation. We have to spread IPR awareness, ownership and value of IP. Sometimes people don't realize that. There are many cases where people have published, companies have taken that idea and developed products and not given any royalty to the so-called inventors because it's in the public domain. So IP policies should be formulated in practice. Access to capital to invest in IP is important. There's sometimes lack of comprehension in IP commercialization framework. Also, there is inadequate infrastructure at least I feel in India to this stage, it's getting better of IPR and legal and policy frameworks. The lack of IP infrastructure in the form of IP agents, law schools, and special IP codes. Sustain and grow creative ideas in an ethical manner. And this is what IP generation creates. Translate the ideas into products and processes and services. India has a potential to be an excellent hub for IP creation. Now we jump into entrepreneurship. Creativity and innovations lead to the development of ideas worthy of commercialization. And I've taken a quote which I liked from alumnus of IIT Bombay, Bharat Desai. He says, entrepreneurs need to have passion, self-belief, discipline, and perseverance. We need to attract and train the best talent to embark on entrepreneurship. And he goes to say, it's not for everybody, but those who have the desire to do it, this is what they should follow. A logical follow-up is technology business incubators, innovation centers, and research parks. And these are now coming up in the IITs in particular, and some other institutions across the country. Venture capitalists should flock around the campuses in search of projects of commercial value. So just like somebody who wants to start a technology company is looking for funds, the venture capitalists are looking for good projects to put in funds so that they can make them grow. The number of venture capitalists currently in India is about 800 plus, while just 2 years back it was about 500. So this activity is growing. So India to provide opportunities for growth of new enterprises and contribute towards Atmanirbhar Bharat focus. So at institutes of higher learning, research, creation, creativity and innovation leads to inventions and innovations, intellectual property rights for public good and wealth creation. What is important is that we should nurture the invention and innovation. And this is a well-known death valley that you have inventions, but not enough invention capital to take them to the angel funding venture capitals. Once you cross this path, then chances of enterprises being successful becomes much better. So this is just a representation of that. R&D to technology demonstrator, prototype development, manufacture, sales, deployment. So technology incubation to wealth generation. So what are the opportunities at the IITs? Increased stress on research activities and institutions, and this should be a continuous process. Have a strong system for managing research and innovation activities. We should identify some areas of focus which are their strength. So whatever, let's say IIT Dharwad has some areas of strength, we should not see that we get into all the areas, those areas which are strong at that particular IIT, we should focus on that. We should continuously increase the number of PhD students, which we did when I was at IIT Bombay, and other IITs have also done that. Bring in the research even at master's, high-end research and master's bachelor's level, and we can think of undergraduate research opportunities. If we give the undergraduates a couple of less courses, but let them get involved in some research, give them credit for it. These are very bright youngsters, and they can help in the innovation activity. We should bid for research projects from funding agencies that lead to innovations and technology incubation, not just fundamental research. So we should do actually both. But this is since we're talking of entrepreneurship. That's what I said. So IITs encouraging innovations, and some of it is known to many people, but I made it general. We should establish innovation and technical labs, which could be kept open 24/7, where students can go and work and come up with new ideas. Hold technology festivals, and now many of the IITs are holding very good technology festivals like TechFest, Eureka, and so on. And have ideas competition, hold technology business competition, robust technology incubation centers, share knowledge about developing business models for technology incubation. Many times there are ideas and youngsters, potential entrepreneurs don't know about how to develop a business model, and this could be provided. Provide mentoring. Of course, mentoring can be provided by venture capitalists and those who have been entrepreneurs and are willing to be mentors. We should invite angel investors and venture capitalists to interact with the faculty and students. And sometimes this interaction leads to new ideas at the institute. All technologies begin with inventions, scientific or technological innovations. Inventions drive technology markets, and I've just put a few: information technology, communication, biology, and many, many materials and whatnot. And we have to develop intellectual property that will give enormous socio-economic benefits in India. So I've been using this slide for a long time. The golden age of invention innovation is today. No, it was 2 years back, it was 10 years back, and it will remain 10 years in the future because things keep on changing as we move. Several old products suddenly change into new ones. And just taking an example of those of you who remember the television, it used to be a big, huge contraption with cathode ray tubes and all that business. Now it just hangs on a wall. And lots of technologies have gone into it, including the liquid crystal technology and all kinds of things. Medical devices have changed a lot, and medical systems have changed a lot. I just got my cataract operation, and it was such a breeze to go through it. And then vaccines, we were talking of vaccines, we thought we had everything, but suddenly last year, 2 years back, COVID came and we had to develop a new vaccine. So lots of new things keep on happening. The earth needs inventions at all the times. We have to address the digital divide. It's a continuous process in the last decade. Food and resource management is a continuous process. I've just listed a few. Water management, we have to do more than ever before. Energy generation and distribution. And this is a very large subject in which we talk of energy, solar energy, and many other things. Climate change, healthcare, waste management, and many, many, many more. And just some of the areas for inventions I've listed: sensors, bio-waste, paint, food. In paint, there is a non-scratch paint for automobiles and so on, life science, construction, nanotechnology, all kinds of things. Or we could have a theme like automotive technologies. How do we make the material such that the car becomes lighter? What are the adhesives which are used? What is a battery? New kinds of batteries, magnetic materials, all kinds of embedded systems for computerization. In fact, the other day I was hearing a webinar where they said that the components of IT and so on in an automobile is about 40-50%. So they say, the speaker said it's actually a computer on wheels rather than just an automobile, because so many IT technologies are embedded in them. So startup boom in India. Startup India is a flagship initiative, again, of the government, intended to catalyze startup culture and build a strong, inclusive ecosystem for nurturing innovation and entrepreneurship. This will drive sustainable economic growth. This initiative aims to empower startups to grow. Startup India Seed Fund has been announced and launched to help startups and support ideas. And there are many, many more things that some tax benefits are given and the like. Since the launch of the initiative, Startup India has rolled out several programs for supporting entrepreneurs, making them such that they transform India into a country of job creators rather than job seekers. So Startup India overall funding has increased. Total funding of Indian startups, as I got it from a venture capitalist, is of the order of US dollars 42 billion, 3 lakh crores, which is a huge amount. After the unprecedented pandemic, this fund boom has come on the back of higher global capital liquidity. Unicorns have increased. Indian market, every day you see in the papers, not every day, but every other week or so, new unicorns coming. Unicorn is one which has a valuation of 1 billion and above. Overall startup valuation of over 1 billion raised about 28 billion over the last year. Currently, 1 out of every 10 unicorns in the world today has been founded in India. This is again a report that I read. Number of unicorns founded by the IIT alumni is quite large, and also from IIM alumni. So now we give some examples of what is happening in the IIT system and some startups. So IIT Kanpur has, I mean, there are many examples, but you can't give all, but just because I like this one. They have the National Center for Flexible Electronics, and one of the finest, I believe, in the world. And they develop all kinds of things: OLED displays, printable electronics, organic solar cells, printable inks, organic transistors, memory sensors, OLED lighting. And from there emerge startups. So Checo is an anti-counterfeit product development for identification for fake products through flexible electronics. And Licotronics, inks that can be conducted to build kits for learning, pen and paper circuitry, educational kits. So these are some startups. There are many more startups that have come. Just giving an example that if you have a center of excellence, it leads to startups. Center of Excellence in Nanoelectronics, IIT Bombay, established in 2006. It's funded by the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology and has collaborated projects with IISc Bangalore. These two centers set up to undertake state-of-the-art in nanoelectronics, train manpower, interact with industry, research labs, and government departments. And these two have now become one of the best centers for nanoelectronics in the country and, in fact, in the world. Through both the centers have similar equipment and philosophies, but IIT Bombay team focuses on devices and circuits, while team at IISc focuses on materials. And I won't read all of them, but the center of, I just thought I'd just mention this to give you an idea that from one center you can have huge number of things which are coming out. CMOS, materials, devices, systems, prototyping, modeling. Basically all this to help nurture an effective nanoelectronics business incubator program for graduating entrepreneurship and private industries. Then in biotechnology, we have Professor Rohit Srivastava, and he's a very prolific inventor and innovator, and he's developed all kinds of equipment for diagnostics in the medical field. Nanotechnology as a whole is how it is used in so many areas. It could be in material science, engineering, energy, catalyst development, electronics, sensors, IT, optics, and biotechnology also. So if you have a center for nanotechnology, you can focus on some of these areas. An alumnus of IIT Bombay has developed these mini robots, and he calls them Miko or Miko. And this Miko is capable of interacting with a child through, of course, IT and so on, and becomes a friend actually to children at home, especially those who don't have siblings. This becomes like a friend. It's a unique with no other comparable products in the market. Started from a guy, an IIT alumnus, who started incubated this company. It's a unique product. First companion robot with integrated platform. It fulfills many needs, multi-purpose device offering companionship, high approval rating by parents and the children. Another alumnus of IIT Roorkee, along with his colleagues also from IIT Roorkee, they have started a company called Log9. Log9 4 or 5 years ago had like 10, 15 people, and I used to see them in a small little facility. Today, they have enlarged into a large facility of 400 employees working for them. So they first developed this what they call liquid battery, like a solar cell, in which you put aluminum electrodes and water as a carrier, and this would generate power to run a car for what they claim 1,000 kilometers. I've seen it fitted in the cars. All this happened because these undergraduate students got involved in some research projects in their summer, worked with some professors, got into some interesting thoughts, and then from there took off. Some of it started when they were still at IIT Roorkee, and now they're a very successful enterprise. Now they've come up with new batteries, which are much safer, and one of the most advanced battery packs in the market. With all these lithium batteries we hear about, they have gone in a slightly different mode and come up with these batteries which use different materials, and I can't share those materials for proprietary reasons. ANTHEM Biosciences is a contract research and innovation service provider with over 1,000 researchers. It has 2 sites in Bangalore. Over its short history, the company has become a powerhouse for drug and new product development and manufacture, with equal emphasis on biological and chemistry-based products and services, co-founded by an alumnus of IIT Delhi. And I especially wanted to show this because here is entrepreneur. Normally people say entrepreneurs are only in the area of IT and services. Here is an absolute research-based entrepreneur, and he has done this. Then startups from SIGN, which is Society of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at IIT Bombay. And I won't go into again details, but Idea Forge Technology is product focused on UAV systems. And this will interact with the companies which are making products for the defense. And then Automotive Technology is a consumer product company into energy efficient fans. And all the details are there. Then Safe Security, a cybersecurity venture. Immunoadaptive Cell Therapy, engaged in CAR-T cell immunology technology platforms for cancer treatment. Again, IIT Bombay alumni who started at SIGN. And then during this pandemic, the nano filters were the thing that was required, and e-spin technologies started from IIT Delhi, faculty and student. And there are people I'm just giving these examples which are different from what you normally see. Waterless PV solar panel cleaning robot has been developed. Thermocol recycling. IIT Kanpur, very unique. You see all these thermocol waste disposal problems and in many cities. What they've done is they collect flowers from temples and process them in a manner that you make thermocol type looking material for packaging, and this will be of course biodegradable. You put it in water and it just dissolves away. And they gave me some idols of Ganesha and all that. So in the time of Ganpati Puja, you can keep them, put them in the water, and they will easily dissolve. So just to give an example, entrepreneurship at IIT Bombay. Of course, many institutes have similar, but I'm familiar with them. So they have the Society for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which is an umbrella organization fostering entrepreneurship and nurturing tech startups. It provides an environment to translate knowledge and innovation into creation of successful enterprises. one of the alumnus, and I quoted him, Bharat Desai. He has funded the Desai Sethi Center for Entrepreneurship at IIT Bombay. So it's a teaching program which helps students develop. And Mr. Rahul Bajaj, or the Bajaj group, gave good CSR money to set up Bajaj Technology Innovation Center at IIT Bombay. So we have to leverage the expertise and excellence in the IITs, identify centers of strength, identify centers of excellence, encourage startups, provide an environment to translate knowledge and innovation into successful entrepreneurs, create an ecosystem that will foster and support innovation and knowledge-based entrepreneurship, list technologies that can be transferred to the industry, and encourage startups. We should leverage the expertise and excellence. Major companies are now looking for startups to get new ideas and technologies. List technologies that can be transferred to the industries. Emerging trends in several startups are the following: cloud computing, data analytics, AI, IoT, cybersecurity, agri-tech, sustainable product market, social commerce, and healthcare. IITs may focus on some of these areas, but any others also is fine. Now, this is another important thing. What I've heard from the industry is that IIT graduates are not opting for jobs in leading industries, especially in the manufacturing sector like L&T, Bharat Forge, Tata Motors, and so on. However, when you get into the startup space with innovative ideas soon after graduation, and these startups become valuable for the manufacturing industry, and then they look forward to working with them closely. So this is another way of retaining talent for industries in India. In this way, the Indian talent pool becomes available for the growth story. Such a phenomena actually encourages reverse brain drain. And I just put this yesterday, that from just another thing as reported in Business Today, a bunch of startups is turbocharging India's space economy, quote unquote. Everything from building launch systems to providing satellite services. Since June 2020, private enterprises are allowed to participate in all areas of space sector economy. And currently, apparently I'm again quoting Business Today, 75 startups registered under space technology category in the Startup India portal, and there may be many more. So the development of universities with global standards is based on knowledge. Knowledge requires people. Science and technology requires people. Hence, investing in people is imperative. It's the people, not capital or other sources, who are at the heart of the knowledge economy. Knowledge economy requires a wide range of people with specialized knowledge and experience. Education, research, and innovation are thus at the heart of the new economy, leading to entrepreneurs and startups. IITs have a great role to play in this Atmanirbhar Bharat strategy. So IITs contribute towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, huge opportunity to make an impact through research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. So with this, this shared some of my thoughts, a little bit simplistically, but also important, I think, for the growth story of India.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Now we'll take some questions which are in the Q&A box. We have a couple of questions, sir. The first one is, the present scenario in our country is such that at high school leaving stage, students with higher potential to later become innovators prefer to go abroad for higher studies and usually settle there, thereby not benefiting our country. Do you agree with this view? If so, how to reverse this trend?
So what is happening is now in the school system, there are several kinds of schools that have come. One of them is the International Baccalaureate IB system, where they graduate at a time where the admissions in India are over. They don't even get into the competitive system of joining the Indian institutions. So they go abroad. However, if that can be harnessed to be in India. It will be, of course, a great thing for the Indian scenario. Also, there's the Atal Innovation Centers, Tinkering Labs, Atal Tinkering Labs, which have come up in many schools. So a lot of school students are becoming innovators in their own schools. The thing about going abroad is the number that goes abroad is actually, as I gave you the number of students that we have in India, is still marginal, very small. There's enough talent in India which can catalyze innovations. Yeah.
Sure, sir. So, next, there are two small connected questions. Is there a need to change the curriculum at the high school level to inculcate this entrepreneurship at a young age, sir?
Yes. It's absolutely essential to inculcate this thinking of innovations and thinking of new ideas to solve problems of the country at any stage is good.
Yes.
School is all right.
Sure, sir. So then last question.
Of course, the problem is that you have to follow the syllabus and then students have to prepare for admissions in college and the like. So, but it can be taken care of.
Yes, sir. So one small another connected questions. Do we need ship like IITs and AIMS?
Well, no. Answer is no. We need many more institutions, universities, central universities, INITs, all of them to get involved. I only said the IITs have taken the lead in it, and therefore I gave that examples of IITs. You know, every day I come across people who are, and I didn't even give those examples. There's a company called Edurica, Quicker, Razorpay. These are all companies which are actually more services driven, but they all are IIT graduates who are in them.
Sure. So one new question which has just come. Sir, how to enhance alumni interaction and contribution towards young institute like ours? That's IIT-Dharwad, sir.
Okay, so it must have come probably from a student.
Yes.
Many alumni, especially those who've gone into the startup space, they should come back and interact with the students and tell them their journey and maybe excite them, some of them to get into the startup space. That's the thing, you know, it should be. Anything we do should be contributing to the Indian scenario, whether directly or indirectly.
Yes, sure, sir. Thank you, sir. I think there are no more questions in the Q&A box. Now, Professor Srinivas, sir, Professor Murthy has a query. Sir, over to you, sir.
I think I have not a great question because Ashok has already covered most of the topics which are very, very dear to me. So it was an excellent presentation. And the only thing it is the urgency is that we must put many of his novel ideas into practice in the IIT system. And I think, you know, to see that we put it to acceleration mode. That is one thing. Another thing is, you know, I feel we need to, all this development that are going on in the country goes largely unreported to the common public. So if you take any newspaper today, after reading the newspaper, you get depressed in general. Actually, recently I was listening to our old friend Subhash Kak, who was our colleague in IIT Delhi during my time in 1970s. Then he moved to America. And he's a well-known professor. He is now almost a YouTube hero. His lectures are very well known. And he continuously quotes a few things, which I thought of sharing. One is, he says, our GDP in India 200 years ago was 25% of the world GDP. which came down to almost 3% when the Britishers left. So we should introspect some of these factors. And he also said that, in fact, even the literacy in India was 60% at that time, which came down to, I don't know, less than 10% or whatever it is. And he said in a meeting with Nikola Tesla, arranged, first meeting, Nikola Tesla with Swami Vivekananda in New York, arranged by a French actress, he mentions that Vivekananda told about the relation between the mass and energy, which is apparently he quoted some Sanskrit thing, etc. And he tried to, Nikola Tesla wanted to use it, and of course it was passed on to Einstein or whatever it is. What I'm trying to say is, I also read Nalanda University was the world's largest university at that time, had about 1,000 professors and 10,000 students in Nalanda. And, then it was vandalized by 100, 200 invaders and totally destroyed. And it seems they had more than lakhs of books there, including in science and technology. That's what I just read it. What I'm concerned is, we do all these things, but I think we also